Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this session. My name is Giovanni Laplaca, and I work as project advisor for the European Innovation Council. Today, I will try to guide you through the European Innovation Council, what it is, the rationale for its creation, and what it offers for, especially for startups and small, medium-sized innovative small medium-sized enterprises. I will focus particularly on one of the three programs within the European Innovation Council, which is the European Innovation Council EIC Accelerator. So first of all, the rationale for the creation of the European Innovation Council. Probably you've heard it many times. I mean, Europe has a strong performance in research, excels in research, but not always the research excellence of the European Union is translated into innovations which reach the market. And especially these years, Europe seems to be lacking on breakthrough and disruptive innovation that are able to create new markets. One issue is also the innovation funding. We've been discussing many times about the valley of the so-called valley of death, meaning that, as you know, uh, startups sometimes fail to collect the necessary funding to translate from going to from lab to enterprise, but also the second value of that in the sense that they might be able to secure some funding for the startup phase, but then they after the first round sometimes there is a lack of available funding for the scale-up process. And then we have in Europe many a fragmented ecosystem because we have many national and regional sometimes ecosystems, but we failed probably so far to create a single ecosystem at the EU level. I'm showing now some figures. You see the magnitude of the venture capital market, for instance, in the United States. It's much bigger in terms of uh, billion dollars than the one in the European Union. It's probably nearly 4 times as big. And another worrying, let's say, figure is the number of unicorn companies, so companies valued with a valuation at over 1 billion by region. So as you can see, Europe has 63 companies, while North America has 252, and even Asia can show many more unicorns, and therefore also the valuation of that market is much higher in other areas. So the EIC Accelerator ran from 2019 until 2020, let's say from 2018, I would say. And we have some numbers that we can already show. So the program in nearly 6,000 companies. And then in the announced pilot, which started in October 2019, when the funding, the investments in equity were launched, supported 293 companies in EU and the associated countries, and 159 were awarded blended finance, meaning a mix of grant and equity, for a total 700 million equity investment. And also we had through the time an increase, so another good news in terms of gender balance, because the number of companies with a female CEO increased over time. The important figures is also the fact that there were 5.3 billion euro on follow-up investment. So the accelerator pilot was able to crowd in private investment for over 5 billion euro. One unicorn was created, which is Selling, which has a valuation now of over 1 billion, and 33 companies with over 100 million valuations of centaurs were created, were supported as well. We can also show that 90% of the innovations supported by the program were touching upon sustainable development goals. So 30% in Green Deal, 30 in digital, and 30% in healthcare, including solutions that was an exceptional call in March 2020, and companies able to provide innovative solution to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic, be it healthcare treatments or diagnosis system or other type of, let's say, innovation were included in this exceptional call. So now I will move to the novelties, the new European Innovation Council, the fully fledged version, which is starting now with Horizon Europe. So it will be a funding of worth 10 billion to identify, develop, and scale up breakthrough technologies and disruptive innovation in Europe. It is unique because it combines research on emerging technologies with the Accelerator program for startups. And then, very important, the EIC fund. The EIC fund, we will see it later on the presentation, and there will be a dedicated session tomorrow, which I invite you to follow as well, is probably, or maybe surely, the largest deep tech VC investor in Europe, with a dotation through the 7-year period of Horizon Europe of over 3 billion. So I will show briefly the 3 main programs in the EIC. We have Pathfinder for early stage research, so TRL 23, and breakthrough technologies. It gives grants up to 4 million euro to consortia, so not single beneficiaries. Transition is a maturation from proof of concept to validation, and tackles innovations TRL between and then we have the accelerator. The accelerator is to develop a scale up deep tech innovation by startups and SMEs with the aim to reach the market. So the accelerator is the program which accompanies innovative startup to the market, and provides blended finance, meaning that the default type of funding is a mix of a grant, which can be up to 2.5 million euro, and an equity investment by the EIC up to 15 million euros. And it is the successor of the previous SME instrument. So I'm going through the new accelerator program. So what are we looking for? We are looking for startups and SMEs seeking to scale up. So high impact innovation, which have 2 objectives. Either they should potentially create a new market, or disrupt significantly existing markets. And they should build on scientific discoveries or technological breakthroughs, so deep tech innovation. And also, very important, innovation which require significant funding over a long time frame, and they are considered too risky by private investors alone. Obviously, the accelerator is not an instrument which is there to crowd out the private market, but to rather address a market failure, let's say, or the lack of availability for risk capital for too risky innovations. So there are 4 types of supports that an applicant can receive. As I said before, the default is grant and investment. So you receive a grant to support your development from TRL 5, 6 to 8, and an investment which could be used to cover all TRL levels up to TRL 9, so the development of the product into the market. Then you can have a grant first. It's a particular case if the innovation is deemed really too risky and requires significant work to be validated and demonstrated. So first there is a grant, and then the investment might come later when certain milestones for the grant funding are reached. Or there's two other options. One is the grant only, when a company can request a grant uh, only in the case that the company is able to prove that the company has sufficient financial means for the deployment and scale up. So for TRL 9. Finally, there is an investment only for a rapid scale up of high risk innovation, and grant is not needed. So um, compared to the pilot phase, this fully fledged version of the accelerator, as you can see, is much more flexible and provides 4 types of funding tailored to the needs of the innovator. I'm going through now and explain what the investment and grant component foresees. So the investment can be a minimum of 500,000 and a maximum of 15 million euro. Normally is in the form of equity or quasi-equity, meaning a convertible note could be another option. Maximum 25% of voting share of the company. So the EIC will never take more than that unless there are strategical reasons to acquire a golden share. What it is very important is the patient capital principle. So the investment should last on average between 7 and 10 years. For the grant, on the other hand, the maximum grant available is 2.5 million, and it is covering up to 70% of the reimbursable cost of the project for 24 months. Small mid-caps are allowed to participate in the accelerator, but they can only ask for the investment component. So this is a novelty of the program because before they were not eligible. Now I will show briefly what the EIC fund is, just to present some very synthetic information. As you know, there will be a dedicated session tomorrow. So it's a venture capital fund. It is shareholded by the Commission as unique shareholder and is an open-ended fund. And its mission is to bridge the financing gap that innovative companies find when they are trying to bring their technologies in the market, and it is therefore to scale up, break and especially to crowd in other investors. So the objective is somehow to de-risk the innovations. Okay, the EIC provides a first equity support with the aim to crowd in private investor and up to 3 to 5 times the investment of the EIC. So as I already said, there's a minority ownership stake and a blocking minority, so a golden share in case of strategic interest of the EU. Another service offered by the EIC is the business accelerator services. They provide access to advice, so coaching, mentoring, expertise and training, access to business partners, and access to innovation ecosystem and peers. So this is a service which is given to all companies which are supported by the EIC, so the ones that are selected, but also the ones that we will see it that receive a seal of excellence, and I will explain what it is in a few slides. So how do companies apply to the EIC Accelerator? there are 7 guiding principles that have inspired the new fully fledged accelerator, and some novelties from the pilot, which ended up at the end of 2020. First of all, the accelerator will allow a continuously open call for ideas. So companies will be allowed to submit a short proposal at any time they want, and they will receive an answer, an evaluation of their short proposal in a time span within 4 weeks. Another important novelty, which will be launched these days, probably between today, tomorrow, and Friday, it's the AI-based IT platform. So a new platform which helps applicants to develop and improve their initial idea and draft the proposal by also providing a diagnostic system, for instance, to somehow self-assess how, for instance, novel their innovation is, like I will explain later on as well. Then another principle is the quality of evaluation. So whenever you are rejected, you will have the chance to resubmit, but this, as opposed to what happened before, it's not an infinite, let's say, possibility. There will be rules to resubmit. Why? Because we thought that reducing the number, filtering the proposals, reducing the number of proposals to evaluate would allow more time to each evaluator to evaluate each proposal, so increase the quality, therefore, of evaluations. Then another very important novelty, the rewarding of the effort, in the sense that whenever a proposal is very good and it goes to the interview, pitches in front of the jury, it's not selected, but the jury believes that with certain minor adjustment, this proposal could be excellent. It will be invited directly to the interview. So not anymore the need to resubmit again the proposal, but just come back to the interview with the jury. So this is very important. Then another important novelty, we moved from a numerical scoring system, so, where evaluators were given a score between 0 and 10 to a go and no go only, so a binary one. And we will also reward dissent, in the sense that I will show you in a few minutes. Whenever there's a disagreement between experts, the evaluators, their evaluation will be provided to the applicants, so they will see the full report by the evaluators, even if they disagree. And I will show also that at a very early stage, whenever you have half of the panel giving a go, it will be a go. So we will see how it works in a few minutes. As I said before, the detailed feedback will be provided to applicants, even if the evaluators dissent, so higher transparency. And the AI will provide also innovativeness and disruptiveness, because companies will be able to see how much innovative they are, how they fare against also the existing competition in the market. So calls and timeline. As I said, the continuously open call for the short application will open on April 8th. We hope it is planned for that date, and then remote evaluation result will be coming in 2-4 weeks. Then we will have the real cutoffs on June and October, June 9, October 6 for to submit the full proposal for the companies which have been accepted after the short application. There will be the possibility to choose between open or challenges call, and the remote evaluation will results will come 5 weeks later, with the objective to hold interviews 9 weeks after the cutoff. So just to show the difference between an open call. So as I said, applicants will have the possibility to choose one of the two, so you can't apply for both. Innovation in any fields, the open call, also it's completely bottom up, whereas the challenges are challenges which are being set up and indicated in the work program. And for 2021, the priorities are strategic digital and health technologies, and then Green Deal in related innovations. So I will show now that the evaluation and submission will happen in a 5-step process. So first, an initial step when the applicant has to basically tell the story, answer a set of questions in the AI platform, and this will be the first submission. Whenever a company is selected, it will be invited to prepare a business plan with coaching and also the support of the AI tool, and send a full proposal. Then the full proposal after the cutoff date will be assessed by remote evaluation. The step 4 is the invitation to the interview, the pitch in front of EIC jury members. And then in case a company is selected, there will be the signature of the accelerator contract for the grant component. And in case there is the proposal is a blended funding one, in that case, there will be a due diligence process and compliance checks which will happen with EIC fund with the objective to sign an investment agreement. So I will go briefly to the stages, and then I will be very happy to answer some of your questions. I will see them in the chat in a few minutes. So the short application will be based on a few questions asked in the EIC AI platform. Then the upload of 10 slides presentation and a 3 minutes video pitch, a simple video in which the applicant has to present the idea and the team. So we don't ask for a professionally made video. We don't ask to show your innovation, let's say, in a real world environment, but just you explaining the innovation and your team. So this is why I was saying we reward dissent, because the short application will be assessed by 4 experts, and whenever you have at least 2 goes, so 2 experts saying okay, go, then the so just 50% of the panel, you will be able to move to step 2, when you will prepare your business plan in the platform with the support of a EIC business coach that you can select, and it is not mandatory, it's not an obligation. And then you could submit a full proposal. Normally it's around 30 pages plus another pitch. And if the proposal is selected, in that case, though, it will be evaluated by 3 experts, and all 3 have to give a go. So if you get at least 1 no-go by 1 expert, your proposal fails. Then interview, step 4, you can pitch your innovation to the jury members. Normally jury members are up to 6, and it's a panel composed of serial entrepreneurs, innovation specialists in the technology, and senior investors. So the pitch will last 10 minutes, followed by a 30 minutes Q&A from the jury members, and then in case you are selected, there will be the possibility to sign a contract with the EIC. Very important, the jury can, there are 4 outcomes of a jury panel, which are, first of all, you can get a go, and therefore you start preparing the contract, but you can also be asked to come back to one of the next 2 interview weeks with an improved proposal. Imagine that the jury members, they find that your commercial strategy is not perfect, needs some improvement. They might give you a no-go, but with the possibility to come back directly to the interview. Or they can say, okay, this is a good proposal, but not excellent, but we will give a seal of excellence. Or there will be a proposal which is not considered good enough, and then it's a full goal, let's say. Why it is important to talk about the seal of excellence? Because a seal of excellence provides a series of the access to the EIC business acceleration service, but also it's something that will allow awarded companies to benefit from national and regional funding. So it's a kind of a proof that it is a very good proposal, an excellent proposal. It deserves funding, maybe fail short to receive funding from the EIC Accelerator, but can be eligible from funding at national or regional level. I'm showing now what is a snapshot of the AI-based platform. So the platform will have a discovery model. So when an applicant enters, the platform will have the possibility to first be provided with information with all the relevant funding sources available at European and national level for the type of innovation he's proposing. And then there is the possibility to make a diagnose. So the diagnostic model will assess the innovation and help the preparation of the short proposal. So the module will inform the applicant also on the I wouldn't say the chances of success, but the compatibility, voila, of the innovation with the EIC fund, so with this, the EIC Accelerator. So it will inform whether the innovation is somehow fit. It is not mandatory if the diagnosed result is like you are not fully fit for the program, you are not, this is not, let's say, blocking, you can still decide to apply, but still you have an overview of somehow a proxy of your chances of success. Anyway, this is just informative in the sense that all proposals will be evaluated by external experts on their own merit, and this result of diagnostic will not be made available to them. Then it will give the possibility to design the proposal, and evaluators will have their own they can access innovation projects with some insights provided by the tool, meaning, for instance, some information related to similar for instance, patents, so they will crawl existing innovation and technologies to give a hint of what it is available on the market and how this innovation compare to the proposal. This is the landing page. It's not yet available. I'm just showing how it will look like. So try maybe between this afternoon and tomorrow to see it should be launched. So stay tuned. I just provide you now with the link to the Accelerator website and the AI platform. And my presentation, so thank you very much for the attention. My presentation is for the moment over. I can now move back to the session and see if there are questions. I see someone is okay, inviting also me for a session. I will be available this afternoon for a while, and then I will move to read the questions. This afternoon I can tell you already, if you want, I'll be available as of 1:30 more or less. So I don't know if there are questions in the. Okay, I see a questions. So I will read them in sequence. The first one is from Adriano. Thank you for the question, Adriano. What stage that the startup has to be in order to apply? It has to, we accept even startups which are not yet incorporated. You can also apply as a physical person, for instance. The stage, as I said, should be between 5 and 6 in terms of TRL. So I think I replied also to the question by Aurimas, if I, yeah, is the slide deck available somewhere? I don't understand the question. Which slide deck you mean? The one for the applicants, Carlos? The ones I presented. This we should ask the organization. I'm free to make them available in PDF format. I will see with them. I don't know if there's someone, if Rafael is online. Okay. Jerzy, very good question. You saw that any breakthrough innovation. So the question will be which type of company. Okay, my reply will be any company which provides an innovation which is able to disrupt a market significantly or create a new one in any field will be fit for the accelerator. When you have challenges calls, so these calls which are somehow top down with a theme, then the innovation should again be in any field but tackle specific, for instance, in the green deal call, you have to demonstrate that you contribute to the Green Deal policy objectives of the Commission, for instance. Welcome, Jesse. Thanks for the question, Anius. You tried already to submit? No, you can't submit at the moment. At the moment, we will. So let me remind about the time frame. And sorry if it is a bit complicated, but so the platform will be the unique place where you can submit. So you will have the possibility once it opens to start with the diagnose, and you can start building your proposal. You can submit as of the 8th of April. So in the end, you will use just one platform. It is true that you can, at the beginning, you can access a website, then redirects to the platform, but then anything happens there. So the platform would be, let me say, we hope it will become your best friend in terms of, let's say, IT infrastructure. Carlos, thank you. Very good question. So as far as I know, Switzerland should sign the agreement for Horizon Europe. So the scheme is available for EU member states and all the associated countries. So the countries which have signed an agreement to be associated to Horizon Europe. I take this occasion to answer maybe a possible question on the status of the UK. So the UK companies will be eligible for grant only. They cannot receive equity because they haven't signed the agreement to join the EIC fund. Answer, we have received the seal of excellence in the last 8 to 2020 round of the Accelerator. Does this help us in the application process? Answer, I'm sorry, it doesn't, in the sense that there is no, let's say, fast track or any kind of, say, favorable treatment for companies which have received Horizon 2020 Seal of Excellence. They have to reapply, and this happened already in the past. So imagine you received a Seal of Excellence and you reapplied, your proposal was treated as a totally new proposal. So this is the rule now as well. The only difference is that if you receive a seal of excellence, you can reapply directly to the for once to the full proposal stage. So you don't have to apply to the short application. So in a way, there's one chance basically to be treated differently if you get the seal of excellence. I don't know if there are other questions coming. We can go on some more minutes maybe. I'm just reading if so someone is asking to share the links. Let me just copy them at this point on the chat. I think it is fine if I do it. So this is the website, and I'm now sharing the URL of the AI platform. So I shouldn't be now online yet. So please try when between maybe this afternoon and tomorrow. It's a matter of hours, I hope. Oh, sorry. Let me try it. I will try to paste it. Let me see because it's a bit. Voila. I'm pasting the website to the EIC. Yeah, voila. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Apologies for that. I don't see any more questions. Also be maybe available during lunchtime, let's say from 1:30 to 3, if anyone is interested to have a chat. I'd be glad. Otherwise, we can maybe. It's 11:30. The session was supposed to last until 11:20. We are 10 minutes beyond schedule, so I think we can close it. Okay. So I'm closing the session. Again, feel free to. I see some questions. Okay, someone inviting me. Thank you, Andriano. With pleasure. And Nikolai, I will try tomorrow morning. I'll do my best to be online at that time. For the time being, I'm accepting. I might be a few minutes late, but I'll try. So thank you very much for the attention. Thank you also for the questions. They're all very interesting, and I hope you had the chance to understand what the Accelerator offers to startups and young innovators in in the EU. And I say goodbye. And for those who are supposed to have a private conversation with me, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you. Goodbye.